feel the fire burning hotter, climbing higher. 1,000 horses in my veins, freedom pumping through my chains. Born to blaze, born to fly through the steel and smoke we defy. Born to blaze, can't slow me down. The king of the track, the roar of the crown.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to Daytona. We are live here on DRSN getting ready for the duels, the Variety Pack Racing Series Daytona 500. One of the biggest events in the history of racing. We are ready to bring it to you all day here live. Got the duel number 1 coming up here in just a couple minutes, followed by the second duel, and tonight we've got the feature. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I'm Liam Irving, joined up in the booth by Chris Murphy. Chris, how you doing this fine morning here in Daytona?
Turn my mic on. There we go. This is way too early on the West Coast for me, buddy. It's 7:30. Brandon owes me a lot more for being up here this early. We are also expecting Wesley Outland to join us in the booth. He's stuck on the road somewhere in a flood. He said he was going to join us here soon, but for right now, you got me and Liam. Duel 1 getting ready to start here. We're about 3.5 minutes or so away from the green flag. It's going to be an exciting day, as Liam said, all day long.
It really is. And we've got some big names here in this first duel. We've got some heavy hitters. Malik Ray, driver who we've seen get it done at Daytona. He's going to be hot. He's going to be tough to beat. J.R. Miller in that 78. He's going to be somebody that I expect to do well. Justin Melichar, owner of the Midnight Racing League. He was the MRL Season 2 Super Speedway champion. It's going to be an absolute blast to watch some of these guys get it done here and try to race their way into the Daytona 500.
Yeah, we broadcasted a race last night. It was another super speedway race at Talladega, and most of these guys were there. Fantastic race last night. We're going to be back here to Daytona, and I'm looking forward to. This is going to be a heavy field right here. We've got Malik Gray, we've got Falkingham in this race. John Ward, a super speedway specialist, one of the top money racing guys around. I'm also looking at Ethan Eckerts now joining the field. Chase Mastretta, watched him run pretty well. Craighead, I can't even name all the guys in this race. Jackson Bye's also in here. This is going to be one heck of a race. We're going to see who can team up here. This fixed setup, I expect to see the middle of the racetrack run pretty strong. So it is going to be an exciting day. And we've got a bunch of teammates in this race too. So we're going to see who stays together and who leaves their teammates hanging.
Yeah, teammates is the name of the game. We've seen how many super speedway races in both real life and in the in the sim racing side of things, where teammates can mean a lot, but you find yourself in a position at the end, it's everybody for themselves. A lot of those manufacturer games that we'll see on Sunday won't play into factor here today. It's going to be a lot smaller of those little cliques and clans trying to find their way to the front here tonight.
We take a look at William Bacon Britton, as his nickname out here is. William out here on the racetrack, the only driver still out here on practice. We got 1.5 minutes left to go. Going to run here under the lights at Daytona for both of the duels and I believe for the 500 tonight as well. We got 20. I'm counting. If I'm counting correctly here, and that was me counting in my head, going silent for a second. We got 23 drivers right now in the lobby. 23 are going to make this show, so unless we get a couple of the drivers show up here real shortly, it looks like just about everybody in this race will make the feature. It's just going to be how they finish in this race, how they line up tonight.
Yeah, these duels going to be very important for your starting lineup here tonight. 200 laps at Daytona. I know it's a pack race, and I know, a lot of people say that starting position doesn't matter as much at a place like this. But when you're at Daytona and everybody's doubled up side by side and you're gridlocked and you can't find anywhere to go, you're going to be wishing you had a better qualifying or starting position. That's what this duel is going to be all about, aside from if we get somebody else who is going to make the Daytona 500.
Appreciate you being here with us. You see, we got some people already out there in the lobby. Chime into the chat. Who do you think's going to win this duel this morning? But if you haven't been here before, hit the subscribe button. Really want to thank Brandon Broadfoot and everybody at Variety Pack Racing for having us here today. We've also got a sponsor here for today's both the duels this morning. iRacing Drivers World sponsored $50 to pay to the winner of each duel this morning. We'll go through the payout and stuff throughout the day, but right now, thanks to iRacing Drivers World for being this morning's sponsor here for the duels.
Yeah, we obviously could not make this happen without the people who make it happen for us. Brandon Broadfoot reaching out to us and allowing us to talk about his league, and it's
All right,
sorry there.
So 50 laps.
It's great to have some help here.
Yeah. So here's the format for the duels this morning. 50 laps, 75% fuel, so we'll expect at least 1 to 2 stops during this event. 2 tires, that's all the drivers are going to get. We'll get 1 attempt at a green, white, checkered. No fast repairs, and of course the top 23 are going to make the show. So that is going to be the format for duel number 1. And it'll be the same for duel number 2. We'll just repeat ourselves later with it. All right, so we're getting ready to get lined up here. We got about, looks like drivers getting to the grid here. Just a few more seconds. We'll get rolling on duel number 1. 50 laps at Daytona. 22 drivers have shown up. So all these drivers are going to make the show. So it's just going to depend on where they finish in this race to how they're going to line up tonight for the 500. All right, we're going to starting grid going off here. You want to get us a grid going here, Liam?
Yeah, Daniel Falkingham will start up on the inside of row number 1 with Matthew Baker to his outside. And we've got Ethan Eckert and Malik Ray starting P4. That's going to be one to watch. Jackson Bice and Christopher McCullough make up row number 3 here, followed by J.R. Miller and Brandon Broadfoot, the man who helps make this happen. John Ward and Justin Melichar round out your top 10 here today, followed by Cameron Craighead and Chase Mistretta. Starting the second half of the field, we've got Charlie Morgan and James Waring, followed by row 8 of Nick Herblett and Hunter Winkler. Justin Johnson and P17, followed by William Britton to his outside. And then we've got Sam Horst and Cody Powell rounding out your top 20.
I think that's actually Hurst, but he corrected me earlier today for you.
Hurst? All right.
Yeah.
Justin Cohen and Jeff Glockner make up row number 11 and rounding out the field here today.
That's going to be it.
It's going to be it. 22. Ready to rock and rumble here.
So Faulkner and Baker going to bring us to the line. I saw these guys working together last night. Baker led a lot of, both of these guys, all super speedway specialists. Most of everybody in this race is. Watch for Faulkner, Baker, Eckert, and Ray. Bai's also going to be up here, but watch that 92 of John Ward starting back in that 8 spot. John is a specialist here at both Daytona and Talladega, but he's going to make his way to the front before this is over with. This is going to be an exciting race, Liam.
It's going to be absolutely incredible. We've got 50 laps coming our way. These drivers are ready to figure out where they're going to start for the Daytona 500. It's a little bit easier on the mind knowing that there's not a chance of you missing. Green flag is in the air. We're rocking and rumbling here in Daytona. Oh, wait, no, we're not. Sorry.
It's getting ready to do. Did we go around one more time? We really need some, race control needs to talk to us, or what are they doing? Not sure what looks like we're gonna go for an extra pace lap here.
Yeah, I think
It was good practice for you, though.
Right before the pace car went in is when they added the extra lap, and so that gave my little computer here that's supposed to know more than me a yellow flag and green flag simultaneously. So that's where
Well, while we're going on for one more pace lap, we'll talk about a couple of our other sponsors here today. So you'll see some graphics down the bottom right corner. We'll look at Corbin Matthews, country music singer. If you're into some good country music, check out Corbin. Also, Marathon Movers also contributing to the broadcast today. Scott's Nuts, a good friend of mine, makes great flavored pistachios. Check out scottsnuts.com, spelled with a Z. But we're going to try this one more time later. We're going to roll through turn number 3. And one more time, it's going to be Falkenham, Baker, Eckert, Buys here in the top 4 at the moment. All right, we're going to roll off of turn number 4. Are you there with me, Liam?
sort of.
You kind of cut out there a little bit.
Daniel Falkingham going to lead him. The pace car makes that hard left turn. Green flag is out. Where are we going to start in the Daytona 500? 50 laps to find out.
Gonna head down to turn number 1. Baker with a good run on the outside. Watch that outside teaming up there. You got Baker and Ray right there behind. And that, who is that behind him? That is the this 444 or the 004 of McCullough. That outside line team. We're already 3 wide. Look at Brandon Brockwood stuck in the middle of the racetrack. That is not a place you want to be. Let's see if Brandon can find a hole somewhere.
You're already seeing a lot of bumping. Guys getting a little bit squirrely. This 3 wide, the 22 in the middle, Broadfoot falling backwards. There's almost a 4 wide moment there as the 48 jumps down to his inside. That's Craighead. And here comes Malik Ray to the front, coming up off of turn number 4. He's going to try to lead lap number 1 in duel number 1.
Yeah, most of the time when you see Malik Ray, he wants to get to the front in a hurry. Keeps 2 different strategies here you see on these super speedways. You either get to the front. Oh, we got somebody down at the bottom of the racetrack. That looks like Eckert. Eckert in the 12 just drifts off, and it looks like he may have a disconnect. So unfortunate there for Ethan Eckert. He looked like he just kind of disappeared off the racetrack.
Entirely sure what was going on there. It says there's a disconnection, but going to continue on. Malik Ray continues to lead up on the outside now with a push from Matthew Baker. Christopher McCullough up there in the triple numbered, the 004. Trying to take away third up on the outside of the 139, Daniel Falkingham. Falkingham started on the pole. He's going to try to get himself back up and lead a lap, but here comes the 5 of Matthew Baker down to the inside. Not going to be able to take away the lead from Malik that time, but these guys are getting squirrely. A little bit of zigging and zagging getting into turn number 1. Guys are racing like there's 2 to go, not like it's 2 complete.
None of these guys are ever bashful about trying to get to the front of the field here. As you can see, Ray right there, McCullough with a good job in the 4, and look at Justin Mellicar in the 84 has worked his way up here in the top 3. So right now it's McCullough now to the point. Mellicar on the outside coming along strong. McCullough got to the bottom but had no help right there. And here comes Mellicar with, it looks like the, who's that giving him a push? The 8 of Mastretta right there as well. Look at Baker now down to the bottom of the racetrack. He wants to get back to the front. And James Waring in the 13 looking really strong so far.
Starting to look 3 wide here in the middle. Little bit more bumping. Tough to push the pusher here at Daytona. You'll hear a lot of people say that. You get 2 cars lined up pushing each other. That's fast, but when you get a 3rd car in there, it can really upset kind of the trajectory of that middle car, and they can give them a bad bump to the car in front of them, creating another crash. So far, so good here as we complete lap number 3 coming up off of, or lap number 4 coming up off of turn 4 into the tri-oval. Malik Ray continues to lead. This time it's John Ward in second. As now the inside lane starts to try to make something happen with J.R. Miller in that 78.
Yeah, so Ray with the lead. Ward makes a good run up to second right now. John Ward always wants to be at the front of these packs. Well, 3 wide on the outside. That looks like who is that up there on the top? But that top line's working. We got 3 lanes, 2 cars up there on the top of the racetrack. And it looks like a third car is going to join him. Is that the 33 of Buys? So Buys bringing along Mellicar and Mastretta there on the outside of the racetrack. We've got about 15 to 16 cars all grouped up here in one big pack right now. And it looks like about actually 20 cars still in the lead draft. Dustin Cohen falling back.
3 wide action here within the first 10 laps at the Daytona Duel. Of course, we're going to have a pit stop coming our way, at least one. I would anticipate with 75% fuel, these guys will probably be able to go around 30. Oh, here's a big block from Malik coming up off of the corner. Here's a big run for the 004 being pushed by the 39. Look at Christopher McCullough and Daniel Falkingham moving their way up to the front. Oh, trouble in turn 3. We've got a spin. Big crashes. A lot of cars are getting caught up. We've got the 8 of Chase Mastretta. J.R. Miller's in it. Corey Powell.
You see the 21
Sam
in
Hurst
involved.
might have been able to squeak through it, but
You can go back and see what happened right here. I see Mellicar involved. I see Winkler involved, Glockner, Miller, Herbert. So we're going to see if we can find a replay here. Looks like we got a meatball flag from Justin Mellicar. He took some heavy damage. Corey Powell also showing a meatball flag as well. So we're going to see if we can find out what happened here, what caused this incident here on lap. What lap are we on? Lap number 6 of 50. We'll jump back here, take a look at from Sam Horse's view. Get the right camera going here. All right, so if we can see what happened here from we're right along with Winkler here. He's right there behind Mastretta in the 8.
there's a purple car there in the middle on the inside of the 33.
There's Mellicar right there. Yeah, I can't see who that is in the middle of the racetrack. That looks like it might be the 70 or the 78. Oh, we'll try to go 4 wide right there. You can see it looks like the 78 of Miller gets into the right rear corner, the left rear quarter of Mellicar. That starts the pileup. See everybody back behind trying to check up, a little bit of a accordion effect. But that's exactly what looked like it happened. It looked like Winkler, or excuse me, the 78 of Miller. See if we can go back and take another look at it here real quick from Miller's perspective.
Yeah, it looks like the 84, he's in the middle at this point. And then somebody comes up trying to get beneath him. Oh yeah, he's already in there.
He's sticking his nose in
Making
there.
it 4 wide here.
Yeah, it's 4 wide at this point. There's not a lot of space right there. He's trying to fit in. He's trying to fit in there between James Waring. Waring kind of moves up the racetrack just a little bit. And that is going to push Miller up. That's just trying to fit around, what is it, a square peg into a round hole. But that just was not going to work right there with 4 cars in the middle of that racetrack. And you can see Mellicar is going to pay for that one right there. The 17 also going around. I see the 82. The 21 is going to get collected. We collected about half the field in this one. Mastretta just trying to drive away from it, gets caught in the left for a quarter right at the last second. So an unfortunate event here on lap number 6 is going to take a bunch of our drivers, send them to the back. 3 drivers with meatball flags with Mellicar, Johnson, and Powell. So we're going to get back here to live time. And it's going to be our leader. Go ahead.
Definitely a tough situation there. I mean, we're getting into the corner, and the hole just closed up when the car was already there. Turned the 84 sideways, and it was kind of weird because it seemed like everything was going to be straightened out, and then there was one crash on the top, and it seemed like just one little clip. I couldn't tell if it was the 29 who got hit, but Corey Powell trying to drive through just got clipped, and it turned him right head on into the wall and right in front of more traffic, which made probably a 3 or 4 car crash into a 6 or 7.
So Jeff Glockner started back in 22nd of this race, found his way to the front now, up 21 spots. He's got Falkingham right there behind him, and Hunter Winkler up in the 3rd spot. I don't see really, looks like maybe the first car back that might have taken a pit stop was Cohen in the 20. Mastretta has been in the pits a couple of times as well. Actually, now I'm looking at it again. A lot of drivers took a pit stop. I'm looking at the wrong column. So
yeah, most drivers came in here on that lap 7 trying to get as much fuel as they can to try to push this to the end. And we always talk about it on Sundays. Spend as little time as possible on pit road.
Yeah, 50 lap racer. You can pretty much run this race without tires if needed. Looks like is that going to be Hunter Winkler? They're going to drive down into the pits right here. He's going to get a black flag. So 17 showing a black flag. I'm not sure what that was for. If it was passing, we get a notification there of what the penalty was, but we don't see why. So maybe race control deemed Hunter at fault there, but he is now going to pull down the pit road and serve that black flag. We'll get back on the racetrack. Looks like lights are out on the pace truck.
Lights are out, we're doubled up, and the field is already significantly smaller. We've got a lot of drivers trying to get some of that damage repaired, hoping that they don't have any engine damage or suspension damage, maybe something that was a square hit that they can just pull out. These next-gen cars are very durable, but there are a couple of spots where if you hit them, they're going to crunch like paper.
And we were expected to have 25 drivers start this race here this morning. Only 22 showed up, so we were going to start 25. 2 were going to go home, but with only 22 here, these 22 are all going to make the field tonight. So it's just going to depend on how they finish to where they're going to start the 500 this afternoon, or excuse me, this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern.
That's afternoon for you.
It is afternoon. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon for me, so that's kind of nice. I'll be able to get this in and still be able to do something in the evening time while everybody else is going to sleep. We take a look here at Glockner. Glockner way back in the field. He's the only driver on the whole racetrack that did not pit. That's why he went from 22nd to first right now, up 21 spots in the 10 car. Falkingham now on the outside of him right there. Look at the 004 of McCullough in the Goodwrench service sponsored Chevrolet has been up front most of the day so far. So let's see if he can stay up here, as we're going to go back to green here. We come across the stripe. We'll have 9 laps completed.
Let's not forget about John Ward and that 92, that black and purple machine just hanging around outside of row number 2. Expect him to get right up on the back bumper of Daniel Falkingham right in front of him and try to push him past those leaders on the inside. Pace car makes that hard left turn once again, Chris.
And we're going to go green one more time. It's going to be Glockner bringing us to the line. Falkingham on the outside. I'm just got a black flag for Falkingham. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe Pat.
I think what happened, I think he might have gotten pushed across the line before the...
And
I think he might have gotten a restart violation from possibly.
Yeah, let's
Ward.
see if race control waves those black flags. I don't see him. I see Horse with a black flag. I don't see the black flags on our timing and scoring anymore, so I think race control may have waived those. But it's going to be the 10 of Glockner to the point. The McCullough right there behind him in the 004. Look at Malik Ray there in 1. He's getting back up here to the front. But look at that outside line, how organized it is. Falkingham with Ward and Baez, the top 3 on the outside. They are coming in a hurry. And that outside line is looking really strong. Look at the number 6 back there of Horace trying to make his way up here as well. We're 3 wide off the corner. It looks like a little bit of trouble down there. It looked like Waring's going to come in and serve that black flag penalty in the 13.
Yeah, whatever his penalty was for was not cleared. The restart violation looks to have been cleared for the Falkingham machine, which, by the way, incredible push by John Ward to push those guys up in front of the 004 and Malik Ray. But top 4 is starting to single file out. Never mind. Here comes Jackson Bice looking to the outside, and he's going to have a bit of a push from Sam Hurst.
Bice always strong on the super speedways. He's got a good run up on the outside. The bottom's kind of only has Falkingham and Ward trying to work together. That outside line's got about 6 or 7 cars deep. They are getting a good run coming off a 4 down the front straightaways. We're going to come across the line to complete lap number 11 of the 50, and it's now Jackson Bice with Sam Hurst right there behind him. McCullough still up here in the front. McCullough has been up here all morning long, or all day long, as I'm saying. He's going to look to get a strong finish here in duel number 1.
See that middle lane being led by Falkingham, trying to side draft the outside to stay with them, but as they come up off of the corner, that outside lane just gets so much more momentum. You can see these pushes happening on the bottom, but the 8 car is still going to be able to get clear. Now Malik going to fall back just a hair, provide the 39 a little bit of momentum. Now here comes the 004 of McCullough, trying to come away to the inside lane, and a big block from up front, almost some contact from second place.
Yeah, kind of a late block there from Bice, but he's able to get down and block off that inside line of McCullough. McCullough had a good run. We take a look from the roof cam of the number 1 of Malik Ray. He's looking forward at the 6 right there in front of him. Ray's going to look to the middle of the racetrack. He sees a hole. Malik Ray is Never seen a hole in the racetrack he didn't like. He goes down to the middle of the racetrack, back to the top of the racetrack, making some aggressive moves, trying to get back to the lead of this race. Malik Ray up on the outside. He has now got the 39 of Falkingham right there in front of him, and they're still coming. But look at the bottom line of Ward. Ward sliding up in the middle of the racetrack to block off that run from Buys, and that's going to leave the bottom open for Baker. And he's got the 78 of J.R. Miller pushing him to the front.
My goodness, these guys are absolutely all over the place, taking whatever momentum that they could get, and that was crazy to watch Malik slice and dice down the back straightaway. He went middle through the corner, went all the way up to the top. Not about shooting down low. There was a car there, so he stuck to the middle, pushed him up to the front. And Malik Ray gets himself up into second, but Jackson Buys still leads this race, rocking the top side, the choo-choo train line. We're going to see if that becomes a little bit more prominent as this race continues on. Noticing that the outside lane seems to be a little bit faster at the moment, but these checkups through these bumps, they can really change the flow of how this pack is going to go.
And I just looked up into our chat. Our third member of the team looks like to have joined us. Wesley Outland here with us. Hey, buddy, are you there?
I am, my friend. Welcome, obviously, Daytona, the Variety Pack Racing Series, and the 500 presented by M&M Mover Storage. And obviously, apologies for a little bit late. Obviously, been a rainy day here in the Carolinas, and I'm set up topside here at Wake County Speedway. But I am obviously trying to call the duels with you guys. We'll be ready tonight at 7 Eastern for the big 500-miler. Hopefully everything will be done here at Wake County Speedway, and I can be able to bring you guys the play-by-play for that. But right now, Jackson Buys leading the way. You've got, of course, Ward right there behind him. Malik Ray, one of those eNASCAR Coca-Cola competitors. So many great stars up in the top 5 in this opening duel, just about heading to 50 miles into this race in turn 3.
Side by side for the race lead. We're going to see a lot of that here as John Ward takes over the lead from Jackson Buys. Got a... Yeah.
Oh, look at that wiggle there, guys, for just a moment. Daniel Falkingham now going to power back on the inside, battling for that number 4 position. And remember, top 20 making it into this race as you look at your admin box top 10. Right now, Jackson Buys over Ward and Malik Ray. All these guys work their way down that long 2,500-foot super stretch here at the Virtual World Center of Racing. And all the while, Jackson Buys leads them back into the corner in turn 3.
Jackson does not want to give up this lead right now. He's got Malik Ray just behind him. John Ward side by side with Malik Ray.
Working now, back out of turn 4. Ward now going to open that door. That's John Ward on the inside. And now Buys now up on the outside lane. Nowhere to go for him. Here comes now Matthew Baker. He'll get a big burst of momentum and storm up against the safer barrier. He's going to now try to go for 2 or 3 spots if he can. Lap traffic up ahead. Jackson Buys now back out to the lead as they work their way again to the back straightaway.
These guys got to be careful with that slower car up on the top side. It looks like everybody's going to be able to get through okay. But that really allowed that outside lane to get single filed out and get some momentum. Now we've got 6 cleared, as now here comes the 39 of Falkingham trying to take away the lead. Buys makes another block, and he's going to hold on to it once again, getting into turns 3 and 4, as now Malik Ray seems to be the one getting shuffled out of the pack.
Don't forget, coming up this afternoon, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, we'll have coverage of the Variety Pack Daytona 500. Obviously presented by the Moving Movers M&M here at the Daytona Virtual International Speedway. Right now, Jackson Buys, he leads them on the inside. He's got Daniel Falkingham right there in tow. Give him a little shot. No, he will not. Pushing him out of line. Buys gets pushed to the bottom. Falkingham up top. He's got friends, Mastrita, Craighead, Winkler. They're all going to come piling through into turn 3 on the outside.
It's a run you're not going to be able to block if you're that 33. You've just got to hope that the push is going to be enough to keep you in the lead, but it looks like Falkingham with the push from the 48 is going to push him up into the front. Now the 48 of Craighead gets clear for second as well, and drivers once again trying to fall in line behind those leaders. They don't want to be all side by side. One tags up into the wall. That was the 48 of Craighead. Everything continues on straight as Buys continues to push him on the outside lane, getting into turn number 1.
Yeah, watch Craighead, by the way, that outside lane. He's going to really push the momentum in that outside. Got a little loose there for just a moment in the Hey Dude shoes, number 48 machine up against the outside wall. Hey Dude, Bison's on the bottom. He's got friends. Malik Raydown poking through. He'll go from the top to the bottom, throws the block machine on Falkingham. Falkingham nowhere to go. He's got to check up, and it makes everybody lose momentum as now Ray has got a run on Bice for the lead. We're working 50 miles in this time by coming to, of course, now 50 miles completed in duel number 1. This race is 50 laps, 125 miles. All the while, the leaders work back with now Bice leading the big Hornet's Nest behind him in turn 1.
Middle lane seems to be prominent for now. You got 5 cars on the bottom, 4 cars up on the top. Coming up off of this corner, you're going to see how these lanes start to shift around. Top 4 single file up on the top side. Now the top 5, as you see that 004 trying to come up and make something happen. He moves up, and that gets to 17 a little bit squirrely. Hunter Winkler able to continue on, and here comes the 48 of Craighead down to the inside for the lead. Does Falkingham go with him? He waits to the last moment, but he does move down to the inside lane, and they're going to take the lead away from Mr. Bice.
All this going on is now Cameron Craighead. Keep an eye on the 48 machine down on the bottom. He's got to push with Daniel Falkingham. Now you got to make a decision. Baker will. He'll go to the outside lane. He'll get a big push now from Winkler. And look at now Jackson Bice from the penthouse to the outhouse. At one time he was up in the lead. Now he falls back into the top 5 clutches. Here comes Bertan, McCullough, Mastrita, Ward, Morgan, all in the top 10. Remember, we're taking 20 from Duel 1 at the end of this race, and right now there's 30 to go as it's Craighead leading in 3. Not for long. Baker on the bottom in the Gold Glory USA number 5.
And I hate to jump in and correct you with all that excitement, but everybody's going to make it here. We didn't have as many people. We didn't have all 26 entries show up, so with those 3 provisionals per race, 22 drivers entering. Everybody's going to make it, so it's all about starting position. But as we can see, Wesley, it's not easy to move through the field. It definitely happens, but you need friends, you need help, and if you don't have that help and you don't have anyone around you that's willing to work with you, being in the back can be a really tough situation for 500 miles.
Yeah, you're exactly right. As right now, Craighead still in the lead. Bice and Ward continue to battle up in the front spot. And is there just going to be one duel? Is that it? Right now, the leaders go back to the corner.
We've got a second duel coming up. A little bit of contact, bouncing off of bumpers, maybe some wall contact out of that 92 machine. But look at the push from Bice. He's going to get into the back, and he's going to turn the 48 into the outside wall. Still clean and green for now. The 69 turned across the start-finish line. We're still green so far. Caution is out now. Another spinner getting into turn number 1. James wearing into the wall. And 13 machine.
Oh my goodness, wow. Cars are starting the race on tonight, 46 now. Wow. Well, I got to give props to Brandon Broadfoot, by the way, then, guys, because obviously everybody going to get a chance to start the race. And, you know, listen, 46 entries, first time out with his inaugural Variety Pack Racing Series 500. Don't forget he's got a regular racing league on, I believe it's DSRN on Thursday nights as well. And big friendship. Thank the world of Brandon Broadfoot and all that he does. Thanks again, Chris Murphy, for having me along on the Digital Racing Sports Network. Here's a replay of what just happened here. And guys, here's a driver in Cameron Craighead, the Hey Dude machine. What a solid run. And now just a bad bump draft gone wrong into the safer barrier, and everybody then on the binders. And from there on, it caused the stack up. What a correction there to get their car back righted, and not really a very big crash than what we thought it was going to be.
Oh, it really wasn't that big at all. It looked like the 33 was just trying to get around the 48. He moved up to the outside. I'm not sure if it was a bad block or if he got pulled up there, but the contact was made and sent the 48 into the wall. And amidst all that chaos, that's where we saw the 69 getting sideways down the front straightaway. Everybody was able to keep their cars straight. Nobody went fully around, but due to the significance of those impacts and all sorts of chaos through the caution.
There we go as the yellow flag out over the racetrack. Thanks to Admin Box. We're going to step away, and when we come back, we get ready to get closer to halfway. Duel number 1, everybody is going into this race for the 500. Later on tonight, the Digital Racing Sports Network coverage of the 500 for the Variety Pack Racing Series returns in just a moment. Here at the World Center of Racing at Virtual Daytona. It is duel number 1 on the Digital Racing Sports Network for the Variety Pack Racing Series. And of course, we're heading to the halfway mark of this race. Liam Ervig, I'm Wesley Outland, Chris Murphy on production. Don't forget, coming up later this afternoon, we'll have duel number 2, and understanding that all 46 drivers will take the green flag for the Marathon Movers Virtual Daytona 500 coming up tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central on the Digital Sports Racing Network. Let's set up your restart now as the lights are off on the iRacing pace car. Second yellow flag of the race, by the way, just after halfway. Matthew Baker is leading the way. Driver, of course, for the PGR Esports Stables and MMS, number 5 from Texas. He'll now have Malik Ray from Greenville, South Carolina, flanked to his outside, the 10th Solutions, number 1, and a former driver in the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. Don't count out a couple of other drivers that are really, really good, including William Brenton, John Ward, Chase Mastrita from all the way down in Mile High, Colorado. And those drivers now will get ready, Liam, to go back to green for the second half of duel number 1.
These guys ready to rock and rumble. 25 laps have been completed. It'll be 26 when they cross the stripe, meaning 24 laps to go. Everybody made a pit stop on that last caution, so the green flag pit question that we had at the beginning of the race is out the window. These guys will be running 24 laps hard to try to make it to the end, try to figure out who's going to start up front in tonight's Daytona 500. And I tell you what, Matt, if you are this 5-car, you got to be a little bit nervous. You've seen how the lead can change hands. You've seen how some blocks can go bad. You don't want to put yourself in any compromising positions, but you do not want to let too many cars get in front of you.
No, to answer your question, you're exactly right. Is obviously they'll get ready to come back down to the pit lane. Pace car will pull on. Here comes the virtual thundering herd back to the line. Down to about maybe 15 or so after as the green flag waves in the air on the admin box scoring ticker. And we're back to racing. Malik Ray down on the outside lane. He's got a big push now from Britton. Britton's going to pull right up to the back end of the center, rear end of the number 1 car, Chevrolet of Malik Ray. Add now Mastrita to the mix. Get now Baker on the bottom. He'll get a big shove with John Ward and company, and they'll now get 2 lanes going as they go back to green, full song in turn 2.
Malik Ray up on the outside, taking away that lead from Matthew Baker in the 5. He's got a huge push from the 8 car right behind him. That's Chase Mistretta rocking that Jack Shack Chevy Camaro ZL1. He's got Sam Hurst up on the outside
right?
with him.
Gotta love the Jack Shack.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there. 3 wide in the back. We've got 1 up on the top with no help. Looks to be Glockner going backwards. Might be by design. He was leading the race earlier, but he started shotgun on the field. You might want to stay there.
Yeah, might want to just stay right there in that position. Is down to the inside. Malik Ray will continue to hold on to his position. 23 laps to go. Now a little shove there from Matthew Baker. Give him a shot of the left rear. Lets him know he's there. Got him a little loose there up against the outside wall. Here comes now Baker, the Texas driver, powering on the bottom. Can he get a run on Ray? He will not. The lights are on, and we got a big push now as Falkingham pushing him up there in the PGRE Sports Machine as they dive into 3 and 4.
Coming up off of the corner, we got 3 of them in line, and we've got 3 wide just behind them. Big pushes from the middle, and here comes a move down to the bottom as Daniel Falkingham's going to take away the race lead with another push from Chase Mistretta. That Jack Shack machine might be the guy that you want behind you, because we weren't getting these final couple of laps, because he's pushed Malik Ray out front, he's pushed Falkingham out front. That bumper is putting in work here today.
Yeah, certainly is right now. Trouble back straightaway. Hold on.
Everybody keeps it straight. The 20 car got turned up into, I believe, the 21.
That could have been disastrous. Somehow we still stay green as Dustin Cohen
really there's problems again.
Field comes undone. Into the wall. Hunter Winkler, Sam Horst, just Dustin Cowan. All cars now checking up, and the yellow flag limb will come out again. Trouble in turn. Well, it happened on the back straightaway. It ended in turn number 3 and 4. Yellow flag out for the 3rd time, buddy. What'd you see with 20 to go?
I'm not sure what exactly caused that there, but you saw the 17 getting sideways into the corner and then turned back up the fence. Back up to the fence, I should say.
Now, remember the 20 car, Dustin Cowan, his Chevrolet was already in trouble, the Home Depot colors, if you will. And then this accident going on in the 3rd turn as Hunter Winkler's Chevrolet sideways collects 3 cars as he sandwiches up against the safer barrier, collecting also now the 21 of Nick Herblett, my apologies, Herblett, and did Brandon Broadfoot get a piece of that? I don't think he did. I think he missed it. The number 6 car, by the way, also caught up in it of Sam Horst and James Oring. Here's another look.
Herblett.
We're going to go on a replay and run on board with, I believe, Nick Herblett in the 21 Chevrolet. Liam, what's it like here as you have all this going on in front of you? You have nowhere to go, and all this happens so quickly here at Daytona.
There is so little time to react. I mean, they say that I'm going to see on board with Malik here. There's a contact with the 17 initially to get him sideways, and then he's going to go back up the track right in front of Nick Herblett. And I was saying Nick Herblett because he was right in the center of both of those incidents coming up off of turn number 2 and getting into 3, which kind of leads me to believe that there was some sort of correlation. Everybody's still trying to get their wits back together, getting into the corner, and just a little bit of contact made. Sends that 17 car into the outside wall, unfortunately in front of the 6, and now we've got a couple more that need to go in and get those fenders pulled out. Check those tires, check those wheels, and make sure there's not any suspension damage. Because once again, you do not want to start at the back of this Daytona 500.
No, you don't. And obviously, as you know, we're going to have all 26 starters and, or actually all the drivers, 23 from duel number 1, 23 from duel 2. We'll have all 46 lead them to the green flag coming up later on this evening at 7 Eastern, 6 Central with coverage of the great sim race of America. It is the VPR Daytona 500 presented by Marathon Movers on the Dirt Racing Sim Network. Obviously, Liam and Chris and myself, we're all looking forward to this one. Brandon Broadfoot, everybody that's been a part of putting this thing together for it seems like the last month or so. I know Brandon reached out to me right before the new year. So, I mean, hell, it's been 2 months, I guess, of preparation. And, Liam, as fast as you get here and you quickly approach it, it'll be done, it'll be over. But obviously, to have your support and the turnout. I think they were thinking they were going to have 60 cars, but to still start 46 is really, really good. And the really good thing is you're all going to be entertained. The fans are going to be entertained. No races are getting cut short, Liam, and everybody's going to start the 500 coming up later tonight. 46 cars coming to the green flag whenever we go racing for 500 miles at 7 o'clock this evening.
Yeah, and I tell you what, man, this is an absolutely incredible event thrown together by the Variety Pack Racing League. We got the Miracle Movers guys helping us out with the big show tonight. But let me just take a moment and talk about this ragtag group that we brought together. We've got Chris, Chief Cook and Bottle Washer of the DRSN, the Digital Racing Sports Network on the ones and twos. Me, of course, I'm a longtime SRM guy. But then we've got Wesley, who's at the racetrack,
Yes.
calling a virtual race before he calls a real race.
Yes, I am live up top side of the broadcast booth at Wake County Speedway. I'll be doing TV and radio later on this afternoon. But yeah, man, I'm actually calling the race on sim racing with you guys for the duels. I'll have a little break. I'll come back and I'll be home in my broadcast studio. Hopefully tonight, all these other real races will be done. But yeah, man, it's really, really cool. And obviously, it's so fun being able to call a sim race from a real racetrack. So I got the best of both worlds, if you will.
And Wesley, you know what the best part is? Unlike
Yes,
what
sir.
you're dealing with now, we ain't gonna have no rain delays. We ain't gonna have no postponements. We're getting 50 laps of racing now. Well, gonna be 20 when they are 19 when they come across the stripe next time.
Yes.
And then 50
Yes,
more
sir.
laps of racing in duel number 2, followed by 200 laps of the Daytona 500. Man, you've got a busy day here today.
Oh yeah, man. It's been a fun week, obviously. I love what I get to do. Did some basketball playoffs and state tournament. Got baseball last night. Did basketball last night. Got racing today, racing this weekend. Starting next week, I've got lacrosse on the radio as well as soccer. So yeah, man, I'm blessed to be able to do what I do for a living. Thank the good Lord above for giving me the pipes to have a career to do it. And yeah, there it is. There is my office right there. If you're watching, audience, on the Digital Sports Racing Network, Chris Murphy, producer extraordinaire, showing you a picture of track drying going on at America's favorite bull ring in Raleigh, North Carolina at Wake County Speedway, and calling iRacing. So I need to kind of show you a screen of actually the Daytona broadcast going on as the pace car will come onto the pit lane. They'll wrap up our third caution. Look at your admin box top 10 for the Variety Pack Racing Series here for the Daytona VPR 500 duels. Coming to the line, back to the United Rentals restart zone. Green flag is in the air. We're back for a restart now with under 20 remaining. Falkingham on the jump, gets a great launch over Chase Mastrita. He's got Matthew Baker, Christopher McCullough, all in this mix. Understanding Hunter Winkler had a black flag. It's been cleared by race directors, and they go back up the banking in turn number 1 and 2. By the way, that's 31 degrees of banking greeting you right now, Liam, as they hit the back straightaway.
I will keep you updated on that black flag situation. It looks like Hunter's fallen to the back. He might be trying to find himself a way to get into the pit lane pretty quick here. But things single filing out for just a moment here down the back straightaway is getting into turn number 3. The lead is still held on to by Falkingham, but the inside lane has got 3 of them, 4 of them now. They're trying to make a charge.
Yeah, they really are. As right now we see these guys working their way back down into the corner. All this going on.
Come in and serve his penalty.
They come to the line. I'm understanding that Winkler has come down to the pit lane. He has been served his penalty. And all the while, we now close in on 17 to go. This race is 50 laps. 100. Contact. Cars into the wall. Oh,
double
my goodness. Falkingham and others.
Adam Miller's got a meatball there. Big damage on him. I actually don't think Falkingham was leading, so he's all right. But that was the 004 of Christopher McCullough that got sideways there. Let's take a look. You already see the 004 sideways and big time contact. We ride on board with yeah, it looks like off yeah, off the front bumper, that 10 machine that was Jeff Glockner shown on our timing and scoring as the 09 for the time being, but man, look at that avoidance there. Who's that, the 22? Brandon Broadfoot flying through there?
Sorry about that, guys. I had to step away into a public address announcement on PA system. But yeah, look at this again as we see another look at a replay of it, and a number of cars in the back. You know what? This is the munch and crunch verbatim, Liam, that comes down to the end of these dual races. And I don't know why they're racing this way. I mean, I know every position you advance, you get a better starting spot. But come on, guys. You're all going to be in the race. Why are you tearing your cars up? Why are you doing this? Get to the finish. Use this as a practice session, if you will. Fourth caution, 35 miles completed. That is obviously 15 to go, and the caution out again for another multi-car accident in turn number 1 and 2, Liam.
Well, and I'd love to play devil's advocate. This is a race where everybody knows that they're going to make it. Coming into this race, you weren't sure, but once everybody gridded up, there's not as many cars as there are slots to fill.
Right.
Everybody's in the race. This is a massive practice session. So why not use this opportunity when you know you've got a fresh car coming at you tonight to make some moves that you may be questioning? You know, make some riskier moves because you know you're in the show. I'm not saying it's a popular decision, but I would say maybe some of these guys are practicing their aggression and realizing that a little is enough. You don't have to go too hard.
Logan Detweiler, to answer your question, yes, sir. We were already planning to have a moment of silence with the roar of the cars on lap number 3 for Dale Earnhardt. That'll be coming up tonight for the 500, just like the 68th running of the Great American Race. Yes, last Sunday, won by Tyler Reddick. We will actually acknowledge Dale Earnhardt. Maybe Chris Murphy can put up a number 3. Raise hell, praise Dale, and we'll always remember the Intimidator, who, by the way, passed away 25 years ago, just a couple of days ago on February the 18th. We pause, we reflect, and we remember the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt, and obviously February 18th. And the number 3 will obviously be showed whenever we drop the green for the big race later on this evening. All right, so let's set back up the restart for you. Daniel Falkingham up in the lead of the number 39 machine. Obviously, he won himself a NASRA 500, obviously, a couple of weeks ago, back in January. He leads. Mastrita now back into the number 2 spot. Matthew Baker from Texas sitting back in third for the time being right now. And, of course, there you go. I'll get out of the way for you. Sorry, guys. I got some more people up in the booth with us. I think we're going to try to play some music, I guess, to fill some dead air, Ryan. Malik Ray, Britain right now, the top 5 as it stands. And as you mentioned, Liam, everybody will go to the feature later on this evening. Again, that'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central. Mountain time for our buddy Liam. That'll be 4. No, yeah, 4 o'clock Mountain time, and it'll be, of course.
Oh, no, I'm Central.
You are? Okay, you are Central.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And our buddy in the West Coast is our buddy Chris Murphy, and that'll be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon for him. So, yeah. I think I covered all the time zones of the United States of America. And if you're listening in Hawaii, watching in Hawaii, that's 6-hour time zone difference. So, yeah. So I do a lot of eNASCAR Australia broadcasts as well, and I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning for their races at 8 o'clock on a night. So let's see here. Looking at the time zone in Brisbane, Australia, which is where my producer lives, it is 2:18 in the morning Sunday over there.
Yeah, I was just looking at Sydney because I didn't know which area your boy was from. There's 3 spots in Australia, and they couldn't be as far away from each other if they tried. Interesting note here, Wesley. We've got 13 out of 22 drivers that started this race still on the racetrack. Brandon Broadfoot and J.R. Miller are in the pits, seeming to be still getting some repairs done. John Ward and Sam Hurst have packed it up on the hauler. James Waring and Justin Melichar look to be still working on those cars, but back in 18th and 19th, it's going to be tough. Justin Johnson has packed it up. Corey Powell, along with Ethan Eckert, who's going to round out the field and start, I believe, P43 in the Daytona 500 later on tonight. Doubled up and ready to roll here down the back straightaway. The lights are off on the pace car. Like Wesley said, we've got Daniel Falkingham, Chase Mistretta, Matthew Baker, William Britton, and Malik Ray rounding out your top 5. Then we go back to Jackson Byes, Jeff Glockner, Nick Herblett, Hunter Winkler, Charlie Morgan rounding out your top 10 here as we get ready to roll with just 13 laps to go in duel number 1 at Daytona.
Lights off of the pace car as we'll try to go back to racing again. As, yes, to answer your question or to your comment, it's boosted, Ryan. I don't think that's the Ryan beside me. He did win a Coca-Cola split in he won a Coke's qualifier series split at Daytona, I believe it was. Understanding that there is a black flag for McCullough and Craighead. We'll see if that gets cleared.
Oh, problems already. Big crash in turn 1. Right on the restart.
Oh,
That's
wow.
basically the whole field behind these front 4.
Guys, why are we doing this? Like, come on. Why? I mean, come on, Liam. Why in the world?
That one I don't understand. I mean,
You're going to the
understand
race.
if-
You're all
if
going to
you make a block
transfer.
and
Why
it-
would you crash your cars, right? I mean,
let's take a look at this restart.
and
don't know,
my
man.
announcer colleague Ryan Pimmey beside me says, Wesley, it's sim racing. It is simulation racing, but obviously these guys, I think there was like $700, $800 to win today for this race. So, I mean, you're going to do all you can to let it all hang out. I think there's like $250, $300 extra bonus money that's been put up. So, replay.
We'll get you guys a final purse number before the big show here tonight, but definitely
Yes.
a lot of sponsors and a lot of friends helping to make this happen and make this event what it is.
Is
Go
that
back to that
Scott's
restart,
Nuts on
though.
the bottom
See-
as the sponsor? Scott's Nuts Smokes Pistachios.
ScottsNuts.com.
ScottsNuts.com. That is a
All right,
fun.
so here it is here. We're going to see
That's fine.
Buys in the middle. 3 trying to get into 2. The 64 up on the outside. That's William Britton. And it just blocks the
Leroy?
track instantly. There's nowhere for anyone to go.
Yeah, and like we said, a number of cars involved. There's the yellow Goodwrench machine down at the bottom of the apron. He got collected in it. And all this happened up as we're under the yellow flag
Let's see if
for
we can get a
another
ride.
caution.
Let's see if we can get a ride on board with Craighead there. He looked to be one of the few guys that got through that crash and was right there in the middle of it.
Yeah, let's watch a replay as we're going to go on board with, I believe, the Hey Dude number 48 machine. Watch this. I mean, did they not get a good start, maybe, Liam? Like they couldn't get going? Looks like maybe the outside lane got speed, and then all of a sudden it just slowed up and then nowhere to go.
I know we're a little bit further behind, but it kind of looks like maybe the 33 tried to make it 3 wide in the middle.
Wow, he saved it.
Wow.
Oh, he got lucky.
Yeah, I
Was
think
that-
the 33
Yeah,
tried to
I
make it 3
believe
wide in the middle,
48.
and much like our first caution, that hole just kind of closed up as he was there. Everybody trying to get into the same spot into turn 1, and unfortunately, you've got a crash with 7 or 8 different drivers who were.
From another angle, pace car is in. Watch the inside lane. That's the restart with Falkenham. And then Colorado's Chase Mistretta does not get up to speed. Looks like the outside lane is really stacking up. And then all of a sudden, a tag right there to the left rear
Yeah.
from the purple car inside in the middle lane. And then all of a sudden, everyone else piles in from there. Your hope is to drop to the bottom of the apron and not go back up top. And for some cars, they did. Others, they didn't. And for the misfortunes of those drivers into the wall, they did. As we get another look at it from another angle. What a save for Cameron Craighead. The Hey Dude's car was about to slam the outside safer barrier. He missed it, and we will stay under the caution flag. We're going to take a break. For those that are watching on the Digital Racing Sports Network, our admin box top 10 show you where they are as we close in on 10 remaining in Duel 1 here at Daytona in preparation for the VPR 500. Later tonight, we're back on DSRN after the break. Hey, by the way, don't forget to use the promo code in checkout at admin box DRSN and receive 10% off of your order. Welcome back to coverage of the duels at Daytona. Right now heading towards the finish of duel number 1 with under 10 to go. 5th caution of the race, and right now Daniel Falkingham having the opportunity to lead the way along with Lim Ervig. I'm Wesley Outland. Chris Murphy is hitting the buttons, and big thanks again to Marathon Movers for sponsoring what will be later tonight, the Daytona VPR 500. The Great Sim Race of America is what we're calling it. And we'll get ready to come back for the green flag. Don't forget, coming up at the bottom of the hour after lunchtime, the Old West, about an hour from now, we'll re-rack them, restack them for duel number 2. But we got to finish this one. Hopefully, Liam will have a much cleaner start to the finish. Pace car onto the pit lane. We're back to 9 to go, and we're back to green.
Restart here on the inside, but looks like the rest of that pack, with that damage from that last crash, is starting to fall back. We might find ourselves in a 4 or 5 horse race. See what this draft can do, but I know there's a lot of damaged cars back there, including the 17. He's trying to work his way up in front of that 69 of Charlie Morgan. Hunter Winkler, though, with some damage on that machine. Gonna have to stay in line if he wants to hold on to that speed. Here comes Malik Ray on the bottom. He had help, doesn't have it anymore. Jackson Bias moves up to his outside to try to take away the 4th position.
Yeah, Falkingham's going to stay up against the outside wall as they work off the safer barrier coming out of turn 4. Mastrita will follow. Colorado in the number 8 machine. Pushing hard is going to be the Texan of Matthew Baker. South Carolina's Malik Ray. They're all right there in tow. Single file. 8 to go now as they work up the banking in turn 1. Malik Ray now moves from the outside. He'll go to the inside and make a move in 1.
He's got a big push there from the 004. Once again.
Whoa! Whew. Boy, that was a...
These guys are ready for some more highway speeds versus Daytona speeds. Problems down the back straightaway. Charlie Morgan gets turned.
And there we go. It's
gonna get it back straight. Stay in
no
green.
caution. By the way, if you never ate at Slim Chickens, it's a great place. Get the combo buffet meal.
Now we're single filed out here up front at Daytona. We got one coming into the pits. That's William Britton. Other than that, the top 8 single file.
7 to go.
7 laps at Daytona. little bit of a move towards the back. That's the 48 of Craig Head. We saw him squeeze his way through that last crash. Trying to work his way back up to the front. Was involved in an incident earlier coming up off of turn number 4 where he made significant right front contact with that outside wall. Looks like they were able to get that suspension and fender fixed. He's got some speed back in that Hey Dude number 48 Chevy Camaro SL1.
Hey, dude, here comes the 48 right back into the game again. He'll work down from the top to the bottom of the racetrack, and he'll work with all those drivers as they work off the corner. Malik Ray down, powers as he got one up on the high side. That's Malik Ray. He'll try to power around McCullough and Winkler. Go 2 for 1 up against the safer barrier to the line. Make it 6 to go now in duel number 1. Falkingham and Bikes now battle stride for the lead in turn 1 there, Liam.
10 cars are in this lead pack. Jeff Glockner about a second and a half back. Everybody else has damage and they're racing amongst themselves. 6 laps to go here at Daytona. 5.5 now down the back straightaway. We've got ourselves a battle for who is going to win this race. Falkingham sat on the pole, and it took him a while, but he is leading this pack once again. Here comes Bice on the bottom. He's got a huge push from Craighead in the 48. They're side by side for second with Chase Mastretta, that Jack Shack number 8. Here they come on the bottom. Are they going to have enough momentum? Doesn't look like it. That top side is formed up just a little bit better. Daniel Falkingham going to lead this lap. Does the 8 try to pull out and make a move as they're 3 wide for third now?
Keep an eye right there, McCullough, and the Goodwrench Service Plus number 004. That's the yellow and black machine. He'll now get a big burst of momentum, a push from Jackson Vice to the inside and from Craighead. All the while, outside lane, Daniel Falkingham continuing to hold on to the top spot. Colorado's Chase Mastretta right there gives him a push dead center in the rear end of his car. Down into the bank and into turn number 3. We're coming to the final 10 miles of duel 1 as they work off 4.
Just 10 miles to go. Here comes Malik up to the outside, and there was a little bit of door banging down the back straightaway between the 004 of McCullough and I believe the 8 of Chase Mastretta. These guys hit a little bit down the back straightaway. Everybody A-OK, and now the top 5, top 6 single filed out again. There's just not enough help to keep formulating these moves. They single file out, then they double up, and they just fall right back into single file.
Yeah, you're exactly right. As I'm looking at time and scoring, by the way, Falkingham, Mastretta, Craighead, Baker, Malik Ray. That's 4 bow ties and an oval. Chevrolet and Ford, if you don't understand the terminology right now in the top 5. Put a Toyota of Jackson Bikes now poking in that 33 on the high side with, of course, a punch from Malik Ray. All the while they work away off 3 and 4 coming to the line. It's 3 to go into 1. I think it should be a stalemate. I think you should ride and drive, but there is money on the line for the duel 1 winner. Falkingham wants to cash in and be on the outside or the inside of the front row for the 500 as they work back into turn 1 there, Liam.
3 wide in the back of the pack, almost 4 wide for a moment. They're getting into turn number 1. The inside lane being comprised of the 48 of Craighead being pushed by the 22 of Brandon Broadfoot. They're trying to make something happen on this inside lane. There's not a lot of help. Here comes a couple down to the bottom. Malik to the middle. He's going to move back up to the outside for the race lead. He's made the move up on the outside of Falkingham. Where did that momentum come from?
Moving high, moving low. Falkingham throws the block. He's committed to the bottom, and he's got friends. But so does Malik Ray. Malik Ray with a push by Baker. Baker to the inside now, pushing Falkingham on the inside. Here they come to the line. 2 to go. 5 miles remaining. And it's going to be Falkingham now with some big help from the Texan. It is going to be Baker. He's got Craighead. They're pushing, they're shoving, they're blocking. They know there's 5 miles left in duel 1, and it's money on the line with Falkingham leading in 2.
Falkingham has been an eNASCAR winner before. He's won Indy. He's won 9 PGR races. He's the 2024 PGR champion. Is that going to compare to being able to hold on, take this duel here, and race his way up to the front of the Daytona 500?
Here comes that 21, by the way. Here comes Herblett. He was caught up in an accident earlier. He's on the driver's side of Malik Ray and Jackson Bikes. He's got a big burst of momentum. Lap traffic up ahead, but they're also coming to the white flag. 1 more lap to go. Final lap in duel number 1. It's Falkingham. Can he be there on the other side? He's in the banking in turn 1.
No more cautions. The white flag is out. They could wad him up, and it wouldn't matter. Daniel Falkingham has Matthew Baker behind him, but look at this run on the inside being led by the 004 of McCullough. He's trying to side draft his way up. He's got turned off the front bumper of Chase Mastretta. Down the back straightaway, though, we've got ourselves a battle, Wesley. Here comes Malik.
Lap traffic, slow cars all on the bottom. Chase Mastrita gives oh, there's contact. Matthew Baker into the outside wall. So is Chase Mastrita. They're crashing. We still stay green. Here comes Malik Ray. He'll work to the inside. Falkingham, he's all by himself. He has no friends. He can't use the draft. South Carolina's Malik Ray, one of the top stars of eNASCAR, is going to win Duel 1 here in Daytona. Daniel Falkenham will have to settle for second. I believe Cameron Craighead, though he dropped to the bottom of the racetrack on the cooldown lap, Liam is going to finish third in Duel 1 here in Daytona when it's said and done. Way to go for Greenville, South Carolina's Malik Ray, one of the top stars of iRacing, and the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series does good and wins for the Variety Pack Racing Series Duel 1 in Daytona.
Let's take a look at this down the back straightaway because I didn't think he was going to have the space to make these moves. He moves his way down to the inside, and the hole just stays open for him. The 8's going to try to come down to his inside, clips the apron, and that slides him back up the racetrack, and that's what turns the 5. Huge.
Unbelievable. My
Huge
goodness.
crash.
Look at
And
this
Malik,
again.
seeing the Falkingham machine trying to side draft him just pushes him up the racetrack.
And watch that car right there on the inside of Chase Mastrita. There's contact. Mastrita and Baker nowhere to go. Baker at a 45-degree angle, then he slams the wall. Multiple cars crashing, coming out of turn number 4 and down to the line. And you lost your drafting friends if you're Daniel Falkingham, Liam, and that literally put a stalemate on the 39, trying to run down Malik Ray. Malik Ray, right place, right time, got around it. And the South Carolina driver in the 10th Solutions #1 Chevrolet is going to be on the pole later on this evening at 7 Eastern for 500 miles, 200 laps in the great sim race of America, the Marathon Movers Daytona VPR 500, coming up soon on the Digital Racing Sports Network. Here's a look at the results. Malik Ray started 4th, ended up winning this thing. And Liam, I'm going to turn it back over to you and Chris if you guys don't mind. I got to handle some maintenance and operational thing here at Wake County Speedway as far as for today's program with the weather. But I'm going to let you guys handle post-race interviews if you do not mind, my friend. And I'll be back, of course, for Duel 2 here in a little bit. So please excuse my absence. But what a phenomenal race, and congratulations on Malik Ray, buddy, winning Duel #1.
That's all right. We'll just deduct your pay shortly. All right, Malik Ray in the booth with us. Malik. Chris, you got Chris and Liam up here. I just jumped right in here because Wesley's stepping out, but I'm gonna step on front of Liam. Hey, Malik, great run there today. You were kind of up and down throughout the field, but you found your way to the front right there at the end. You didn't look like you had a lot of help down the back straight. What did you do to make that that move there to get you to the point?
It's all because of Jackson Byes, man. I mean, he gave me the big run down the back straightaway. I mean, like, if it wasn't for him, I would have never had that run to begin with. I don't know what happened with Chris. I saw that I had a hole on the inside, so I went to the bottom, and then I knew Chase was going to have a run heading into turn 3. And because I was running the middle, I mean, like, you know, like I obviously knew he was going to try and go 3. So I just timed the block. He hit me square. It shot me forward. And then I think there was some issue between the 8 and the 5 and the 33 all in turn 3. And then I was almost clear of Falk, and I just kept going up higher and higher and higher. And then he scraped the wall, and then I stayed where I was, and then he came back down off the wall, which he didn't have a lot of room to, you know, begin with because I was already pushing him up. So, but I mean, it was pretty, you know, it was pretty smooth from there.
Yeah, you put yourself in the right spot down the back straightaway. Chase came up there, gave you enough of a bump to get to the front, and then, like you said, him and Baker and Byes all kind of got together, piled up, and just kind of left you and Daniel out there all on your own coming to the line. But hey, we come up later here this afternoon with the 500. What is your strategy going to be when we get back here at 7 o'clock tonight Eastern?
I'm gonna try to just stay up front the whole time, man. I know track position is really important in this car. It's really like important in general, especially like after the last pit stop. And I'm gonna try to, you know, just work with my teammates and try to do the best I can up there.
All right, man. Well, good luck. We'll see you this afternoon. Good job finish. Congratulations on the win this morning, and we will see you for the 500.
All right, thank you, man. Shout out to Roger Shelton too for the
Oh,
sponsor, by the way.
yeah, sorry about that. Who you want to give a shout out to? I always,
Yeah, we
I
gotta
forgot
get some
that.
sponsors
Go
in here.
ahead. Sorry about that, Malik.
Shout-outs.
Jump it in there, buddy. Go ahead.
Shout out to Roger Shelton at Tent Solutions and Jackson Bias for the push down the back straightaway, and you guys for broadcasting. And yeah, that's it.
All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Malik. We'll see you later on, buddy.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, we're gonna get who else we got in here. We've got I don't see Daniel in here, so we're gonna grab Cameron up here for you, Liam.
He said, "I'm not doing an interview."
Hey, Cameron, you don't want to do an interview? You're in here with us already,
Oh no
buddy.
no. I was talking about someone else. I'm here.
All right, Cameron. Good buddy Liam here with you. Chris Murphy in the booth. Go right ahead, there, Liam.
Yeah, man, it seemed like you had an up and down race as well. We saw you leading the race and then a little bit of wall contact there and a recovery from there. How much damage was on that car? How did it handle after that? And how did it feel running back up to the front?
Yeah, tonight. I mean, well, this duel was just everyone made it, so I was just gonna let it hang and just try to lead every lap and have fun with it. But I don't think I threw a bad block. I think he's just kind of connected, and I just kind of rode up the track into him. But we did hit the wall. We got like 7 minutes of damage, which I was lucky not to get a meatball from that because that is definitely right front brake. Every time the wheel should just break right off with that hit. But so we took it down pit road, fixed it every caution. It was driving really bad. The first one I couldn't even stay in the pack, but we got it back to speed, and I still had like a minute of damage at the very end. But um, we fixed it, and we just held on and let the field wreck and took it home.
When we were getting down to the end of that thing, it seemed like you were one of the drivers that was really aggressive and willing to make moves when other drivers weren't. What did you learn, and what are you going to be able to bring into tonight's race, the Daytona 500 by Marathon Movers?
Um, the bottom line doesn't work unless the top is already dead. Like unless the top is all run out of temps and they have to cool down, the bottom will just not work. It's just it dies so quick. And only two cars will clear. Like Baker and Falkenham got in front of me and I was able to push them to clear, but it just stalls out. The side draft is so hard on these cars if the people know how to do it right. But other than that, it's hard to get with teammates in this because it's it's hard to go down to the bottom with the run because of how likely it is to fail. Like a lot of people aren't gonna go down. So it's just we have to time your runs really right and just try to take right rears because the bottom lane is just gonna stall out. That's pretty much all I've learned from this. But yeah.
Well, you're into the big show. You're going to be starting inside of row number 3, I believe. Who do you want to thank for such a strong run here today, and what are you looking forward to most tonight?
I want to thank Race Labs and Jack Shack and the few guys I was racing with tonight, Vulcanham, Baker, and Chase Mistretta. I want to apologize to Jackson that wreck. I mean, I know he got away with it clean, but I do feel bad for that. Is kind of a half move, so it didn't work out too well. But I want to thank you guys for broadcasting and the race control and everybody who put the show on. And I'm excited for tonight. 200 laps of hopefully action-packed racing. It'll be a lot of fun.
Well, if it's anything like Duel number 1 was, we are in for an absolute treat here tonight. Thank you for joining us, Cameron, and we will be seeing you tonight. Hopefully talking to you again.
Alrighty.
All right, that's going to wrap up the interviews, Liam. Exciting Duel 1. We had 22 cars start. Only 11 cars finished on the lead lap. I think only 13 actually crossed the line at the end. These cars, as Cameron said right there, that top line just seems to be so dominant. Everybody trying to get up there, and I think that may have been the cause of a lot of the carnage we saw here in Duel number 1. Everybody kind of trying to fight for the same spot on the racetrack.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of that tonight, especially when, there's only one groove that's really working. Like Daniel said there, or Cameron said there, everybody's going to be a little bit weary to make a move to the bottom because they know it's going to stall out. So how many times have we seen those situations where everybody's doing the choo-choo on the top, and then you get one guy jumps all the way down, passes one or two, finds a gap, and slots right back in line. I don't know for sure if we're going to see any of that tonight, but it does credit his point there that, I mean, it's tough to make a move on the bottom, especially without help, but even with help, you can stall out.
Well, I don't have a fancy graphic put together for the lineup for duel number 2, but we're gonna I'm just got it up on my screen here. I'll just read it off a little bit here. But before I do that, I'm gonna take a quick look at the results here for duel number 1. And as we saw, it was Malik Ray coming home with a win. Daniel Falkenham, Cameron Krager, your top 3. Then it was Christopher McCullough. Christopher had a good run all day long, was up front in the lead pack, in the lead group the whole time. Nick Herbler in the number 21. They're going to come home in 5th. Matthew Baker, unfortunate, did not finish up in the top 3, at least up in the front where he wanted to be. Going to come home in 6th. Jackson Bias, Jeff Glockner, Dustin Cowan, Charlie Morgan, Chase Mastretta. That's the 11 cars we had on the lead lap. Then we go back to Brandon Broadfoot, Hunter Winkler, William Britton, J.R. Miller, John Ward, Sam Horst, James Waring, Justin Mellicar, and Justin Johnston. That is going to be our top 20 here in duel number 1. All the drivers from this race are going to make the feature tonight. We're going to come back here in about 45 minutes, actually a little sooner than that, probably about 20 after the hour, to get ready set for duel number 2. On the pole for duel number 2 is going to be Cody Nagels. Outside of him is going to be Kenneth McCullough, and then it's going to be Jeff Merck, Nathan Harper. We got some big names in here. I see Larry McDonald in this race. I see Michael Barksdale in here as well. Shane Corbett, Chris Blanchard, just to name a few. Mason he's one of our guaranteed drivers in the field. So going to be an exciting duel number 2. What you take away from that first duel, Liam? What do you think we're going to see here in about 45 minutes time?
There's a lot of aggression in this field, and I think we might see a little bit more chaos, especially if we're in a situation where everybody in the field is going to make it. We've got 46 spots on the line. Only 22 drivers showed up for this one. I don't know if we're going to have anybody racing their way in, which kind of leads it to being another practice session. These guys get the chance to go out and make some moves that they might not want to make in the 500, see what works, see what doesn't, see who they can work with. But you know, I know that there's something on the line for winning this duel, but I think for most of these drivers, it's going to be a bit of a test session, a little bit of a FAFO, if you don't mind me saying.
All right, we're going to come back, and like I said, about 40 minutes time, get ready for duel number 2. My name is Chris Murphy. Liam Irving, our good buddy Wesley Outland, jumped out of the booth. He's got some real work going on, watching the rain fall, getting ready to broadcast some racing back on the East Coast, but we're going to jump out of here. We'll be back for duel number 2. And then don't forget to be here tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern for the 500. It is going to be a barn burner if we see anything is any sign of what we saw there in duel number 1. So we'll be right back, and we will see you then.